Hey, it's Aaron, and today we're with a 2022 Chevrolet Traverse. A couple things changed this year. One of those things is you can see a new front fascia, a couple other body changes throughout, and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are now wireless. So let's look at it. So the Traverse is pretty well known for being the large Chevy SUV crossover that is not quite an SUV. It's not a Tahoe. It is a car-based crossover, but it is still very large. You can get 2 or 3 rows in it. It's very accommodating on the inside. It's one of my favorite family vehicles. It's got a lot of features, and now it has an even better infotainment. It was already really good. And so just a lot of nice changes to this vehicle. Some of the changes that you can see on the outside here are the refreshed front fascia, which redesigned the headlights and the taillights to match that. So you can see it's slightly different grille, looks a little bit different, a little more refined. Inside, there's a new infotainment system, which, as I mentioned earlier, now has wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. There's some driving aids are now standard instead of being options as they were before. I'll kind of go over those as we talk about what's included in this vehicle. So the biggest change in the front styling you can see here is that the Traverse now looks more like the Blazer. Now, I do have a new Blazer, 2022 Blazer review coming soon, and you'll see a lot of similarities in the way the grille and the front fascia looks. Looks a lot like the Camaro, which sadly is going out the door. But that's the exterior. Otherwise, it is a really smooth design. It's very contemporary. Nothing on the Traverse is really like eye-grabbing individually. It's just all one big, nice flow. So you can see the pillarless rear back there to make that kind of wraparound look for the glass. You can see the fenders bulge out a little bit to give it some muscle without being too huge. And you can see there's plenty of wheel gap and other things to give it a lot of feeling of capability. Now, standard with the Traverse is onboard Wi-Fi, a 7-inch touchscreen, forward collision warning with automatic braking, lane keeping assist, which keeps the Traverse in its lane. You have rear parking sensors and blind spot monitoring with rear traffic alert. Those are all standard in the Traverse now. Some of those were not before. Other things that are also standard are tri-zone climate. The second row is a bench as standard, which gives you 8 seats in this, and then you can get captain's chairs to make it 7. Heated outside mirrors. Really good cloth upholstery, very much like the cloth upholstery that comes in the Traverse, and 18-inch alloy wheels. As you move up through the trim levels, things get more and more complicated as in terms of what's included. It goes up to an 8-inch touchscreen. It has a 360-degree camera system and a few other things. There's a lot of goodness to be had in this vehicle. You just have to look for it and decide on what trim level you want. There are a lot of trim levels. There are 6. All of the Traverse models use the same 3.6 liter V6, puts out about 310 horsepower, and goes to a 9-speed automatic, which is a wonderful transmission for this vehicle. The V6 is just enough for this, not too much, not too little. It's just exactly enough. So you'll never feel like you're in a hurry. It never feels like it's going really fast, but it never feels like it's going to take a while. It never feels sluggish. So it's right there in that sweet spot. The 9-speed automatic goes a long ways toward making that happen. Front-wheel drive is standard in this, and all-wheel drive is an option, and you can get the all-wheel drive on any of the trim level packages. So nicely done as far as what's included, what goes with this, and just the look and the drive quality. It drives well. It's a great vehicle. Let's talk about numbers. The vehicle we're looking at is a Traverse RS with all-wheel drive. You can see on the paperwork here, total price with delivery is $50,000, pretty much even. Without the little couple of extras that are on here, it's about $46,200. The dual Skyscape sunroof is the biggest add-on. You can take or leave that. I personally would not bother because it's not my thing. The trailering equipment, that's kind of important. I would get it. $650 is cheap, and you get a lot of good little things, including it adds to the backup camera programming to show you how to hook, where your ball is and stuff to hook up to a trailer. And the cherry red tint coat, which is this premier color for it, is another $500. Again, take or leave that. It's up to you what you want. The interior is jet black with spice red accents. That's part of the RS package. And then there's a whole lot of other things you can look at them here. So the other thing to look at is MPGs. This is rated at 25 miles per gallon on the highway. You will easily get that number if you are driving like a normal person. So I broke that number, and I live at very high altitude. And I still got slightly better than 25 in this. I got about 25.3 is my actual number after a 42-mile loop. So there you go. That's it. 2022 Chevrolet Traverse.
Subscribe.